So, good morning, ma'am. My name is Tanisha Bangera, and I am also a part of the Helping Hands Club. And today I'll be conducting your interview. So, ma'am, before we start, could you please give a short introduction on yourself?
Sure. Hi, Tanisha. Nice to meet you. My name is Nidhi. I am a strategy professional, have about 7 years of work experience across diverse fields such as business analytics, business strategy, e-commerce, and now in digital marketing. I currently work at Google as a digital marketing strategist, helping clients in the mid-market segment with their digital marketing strategy. Prior to this, I was working with Flipkart in their Fintech and Payments Group as a strategy manager. And I have had 3 years of consulting experience at KPMG post my MBA from IIM Indore. So I enjoy solving problems that have like large scale impact on the customers, and this is what has paved my interest in this journey. I've also been figuring out what I like the best, hence the diverse nature of my experience. But yeah, that's what keeps me going, solving problems and helping customers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, you clearly have a lot of experience in what you're doing. And now, my first question would be what exactly sparked your interest in STEM, and how was your initial reaction to it?
Got it. So, if I start from my early childhood, I had an early exposure to science and mathematics as I was growing up, as all of us do growing up. I had role models in my life, in my dad, my sister, who are engineers, and my mom. She was into like mathematics. Um, and this early exposure and seeing role models and family who are already into those industries sort of made me curious as a kid. And as I was curious, I started realizing that I like maths. I like some elements of physics and chemistry as I grew up, and I started learning about it. And then that's where my analytical skills started to get like honed with this exposure, and later on I started enjoying problem solving. And before I got into engineering, I was there was a period where I was geeking out on a lot of like technology related changes that were happening. So being a 90s kid, I've seen that transition from like going from traditional media to like social media and that evolution, right? So that sort of made me curious. And then that's when I decided to take physics, chemistry, mathematics in my 12th grade, and then applied to computer science engineering at VJTI. So, like, I think problem solving, if you're like you enjoy problem solving and you are an analytical person by nature, and if you just go after that curiosity and try to pursue that and learn more new things, um, that's what keeps you going, and then that's what helps you in your journey, and that's what helped me land computer engineering at VJTI. And yeah, and after that, it's just been a crazy journey, I would say, in terms of learning new things. And when as I was doing computer science, I realized that I like the amalgamation of business and computer science. So that prompted me to do my MBA, and so that I could actually equip myself with the business skills required to use technology for the right customers. And that's how I got into MBA. And then, like I said, I am still figuring out what is something that interests me the most. So that's led me to the exploration journey. So I explored consulting. I was in fintech. Now I'm in digital marketing. So yeah, I mean, that's been my journey, I would say. And what sparked my interest was seeing role models around me, and growing up, seeing their growth and success, professional success.
Okay. So, ma'am, I had a question. So, in the present times, earlier the only professions that were actually there were mostly considered as doctors, lawyers, and engineers. So, in the current times, there are so many new subjects that are evolving. Even in engineering, there are so many new various sectors, new subjects that are there. where you possibly need not study everything. You can study one particular subject. So you have already you've gained a lot of experience. So what do you think would be maybe top three professions in the coming years in your field?
Got it. That's a great question. And I would say it's very difficult to choose and, say that these are the top three ones. But as we are seeing the proliferation of AI into everything, anything and everything that we do, right? So it's very important for students, and like even I am a student, even now, even though I'm working, you need to upskill yourself, know like what are the use cases of AI, how it can be used to make lives of people better in different sectors. And those sectors that help you leverage that knowledge of yours could be, say, anything to do with digital, like be it, say, data science, digital marketing, anything to do with data analytics. All those industries or fields, I feel, uh, can see a rapid transformation and can open up a lot of opportunities. And there was this time when there was this misconception, right? AI will take away our jobs. That's not the case. It's making things more efficient and actually giving more opportunities for people to invest their time more strategically, like focusing on the strategic aspects, which like where the human intervention is required, right? Understanding clients, empathizing with them, understanding what their requirements are, and so on. So anything strategical and analytical. So those are the two areas I would broadly bucket the job roles into. And like I said, anything that has an element of digital or tech in it. So like digital marketing, data science, digital analytics across industries. So there's no specific industry I see that will, or let me put it this way, there won't be a specific industry that will not get impacted by AI. Like all of the industries are seeing adoption. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answers and helps.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, since you actually mentioned AI, in the present times, we know that AI can also be very harmful because there are so many videos, even on social media, about, these deep faking videos of celebrities and all. So, according to you, what can be done to use AI in a more constructive and productive method rather than exploiting it?
Got it. So here again, you first, like I said, upskill yourself to know what are the different use cases. It is like I would say everything is based on the intent and intention of the person, right? So while you are doing a research and upskilling yourself on the use cases, you may also, like there's so much content available on internet. You may also come across content which may not be very constructive uses, or rather destructive uses of AI. So it's on your intention. So if you set your intention right, say you want to learn, your learning is your intention, using it for the greater good in terms of helping people, helping customers, helping your organization, or helping yourself more importantly, because AI has been revolutionary in terms of saving one's time in their day-to-day work. There are a lot of mundane tasks, and all of these things can be done very easily and seamlessly. So the admin task that you waste so much time on during your day-to-day job, that is something that can be delegated, or like that's where AI comes into play. And then if you are like I keep coming back to the fact that if you're a curious person and you want to improve your productivity, or you want to do research on the areas of your interest, be it like reading, traveling, and whatnot. So that's where AI can help you create a plan. So just giving a simple example, like I had to travel someplace and I did not have the time to build out my itinerary. So I just use, say, like you can use any platform, right? Gemini or ChatGPT or anything like that, and then build out your itinerary. So that just saves time for you to then focus on your work and not worry about this itinerary. So I would say make your intentions very clear as to what you want to do with it. and whom you want to help with it. Like I said, it can be to help your family members, your own self, your customers, or people around you, right? So yeah, and once you set your intentions right, and you need to keep revisiting, right? When you feel that you're not getting that inner contentment or satisfaction from using that AI, you know that you are probably not using it for the right use case or right scenario. So just keep doing that, and I think should be good.
All right, thank you so much. So my next question would be, as a woman in STEM, did you ever, face any hardships? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
So I have been luckily I've been fortunate enough that I've worked in organizations where they have been immensely supportive to women, right? And there are like a lot of equitable opportunities given, and there are a lot of forums and communities where you can talk about uh, your any challenges that one might face. Uh, but having said this, there have been, like in my past experiences, there have been challenges where maybe there's this unconscious bias that can arise. So
Yeah.
that is something that's not intentional, that your like maybe male counterparts are doing or anything of that sort. But uh, there are so many things to do in a day, and there are times where you probably don't realize that you are being you are expressing that bias towards someone. Like, while this has not happened to me a lot in my like early career, but I've seen it happen, and I think it's a prevalent problem that even now in different forums we keep discussing, right? uh, so how do you overcome this, like this unconscious bias? I feel so I can give you an example. So something as simple as I heard someone say that, hey, women maybe oh, you are a woman, so maybe you may not be that fast at grasping tech, or you may take more time to figure out the math or something of that sort. Or like we keep hearing, right, women may
Hmm.
not be that great drivers, something like that. So those are some sort of unconscious biases that's been going on for a long time, and sort of trickle down, and it may just come at a spurt of a moment in a conversation. And there can be scenarios where the representation of women in STEM is slightly lower, and I think as you get up the ladder it gets lower. So then in a room full of men, if you have that imposter syndrome or something where you are not, or you're not aggressive enough, you may just be mistaken for someone who is like too agreeable or does not have a lot of opinions. So that can actually sort of impact your self esteem, right? So these are there's some examples that I'm quoting from the environment, like early like work careers, and the discussions that happen even now from my like women counterparts, or the women I know in my social circle, that I hear in their careers. But how can you overcome this? So the first step you have to take in terms of identifying the right forums, and then identifying the right allies you can go and talk to. And then it's also on the I would say uh, the culture of the organization you are in, where, like I said, I've been lucky enough to have a great culture there. So the organizations have to foster an environment where you can speak up without getting judged, and you have to be taken seriously. The first step is for you to identify the right forum, and then the right person to go up to and talk to, and obviously do it, put forth the point, but put forth it respectfully, I would say, because there's always a way to say things. And then and if you're lucky enough to have that environment where you're heard and your feedback is actioned on, then I think it will happen. Like good things will happen, changes will happen. But obviously, it's a journey, right? Again, you have to, like I said, in your day-to-day world, you're so busy that sometimes you have to explicitly state a few things which maybe your male counterparts may not know they are unconsciously doing. So, yeah, that.
So, ma'am, psychologically speaking, could it be possible that the nurture that is given as kids, whatever, the toys we play with, the development that we go through, be it cognitive skills or motor skills, uh, would you say that maybe there is a certain distinction between the development that arises in girls and boys, like as children? Because a classic example would be that, girls are, they are stereotyped into playing only with like dolls or kitchen sets or something like
Right.
that. While, even
Right.
like the boys, because I have a cousin brother and we've grown up together. And the same thing happens where, he was very much into, you know, building Legos and all that. He would make like various designs, and because of him, even I got interested into like, trying out Legos, and because I was very small, but I could still do, a little bit here and there. So would you say that psychologically it might have been imbibed into us as children?
Yeah, so could be, right? I mean, it totally depends on the kind of environment. We all grow up in different environments. And like I said, some things that have been going on for a long time, it just gets trickled, right? So your parents may not do it intentionally, like just buying you dolls or kitchen sets, but because it's been going for even in their generation, that's what happened. That's why they maybe bought that for us. Assuming that that's the only thing that we might be interested in. So definitely, early exposure, the environment that you grew up in, and then the kind of people you're surrounded by in terms of your like early education in schools and colleges, etc., plays a very important role in shaping up your self-esteem, I would say. And then it's also about like the biases that you hold in yourself, right? So for example, I may, if I am insecure, I may feel that okay, maybe in a room full of men, if I talk, I will not be heard, or or I may just be repeating something. And I can give you a classic example. So there was some survey that I was reading about that says that if women are even like 30% unsure about a job that they want to apply to, they'll not apply. They'll feel that, oh, maybe there's a like only a 70% chance that I will land that job, so I should not apply. On the other hand, men, I mean, these numbers I may not be right about, but that was essentially the survey. But men, on the other hand, even if they are say 30% confident about getting the job, they'll just apply to it. So basically, that bias has come from within about myself that, hey, I may not land this opportunity, so let's not even try. So I would say, like you mentioned, it's very important that you grow up in a supportive environment and where there are no like barriers for you to explore and try things. And you're not bucketed into like a category that, hey, this person may like only this, or this person may be successful only in this sort of a thing, and so on. Yeah, so surround yourself with people who understand that and are supportive to push you to try different things and take risks, calculated risks of course. And then that you have to consciously do. I know as a kid you may not realize it, but if you grow old and as you start realizing that there are these challenges that are barriers to my success, then that's where you take action and surround yourself with people who will help you in your growth.
So, ma'am, my next question is, how do you balance between your work life and your personal life, considering the demanding career that STEM is?
um, okay, so uh, how I look at work-life balance. So I was really bad at it when I started my career. So I was in consulting and it was demanding because you work with clients directly, and there is like a lot of stakes involved. And like as I grew, I mean, this is a journey again because nobody is good at it when they start their career. They all learn it maybe the hard way, or or if you're already good at drawing those boundaries for yourself. So even now there are times when it can get overwhelming for me, and sometimes I feel that work life balance cannot be the same every day. So there may be days where I want to focus on just myself. There may be days where I want to focus on work because there's something pressing, there's an important meeting, so I need to be there and I maybe need to give my 200% there. There may be days where I want to prioritize my social life, my like family, my friends, etc. So every day is different, I would say. but you have to consciously ensure that you are not feeling burnt out by it. I mean, you cannot say yes to things you should be saying no to every day. And that's when you are like stretched too thin and spread too thin. And then you sort of suffer in terms of
Hmm.
your mental health and well being. So, what I have started doing, I mean, like I said, I'm also on a journey in terms of improving my work life balance. But like I said, you need to start saying no to things when you feel, uh, and you need to again have such colleagues who understand. And when you're as transparent as possible, right? So once you build a relationship with some stakeholder, and then you can be very honest with them. Hey, I am doing 10 different things. I may not be able to do the 11th one. There's a way of saying it. And then they'll understand because they have worked with you for a while and they know that you have almost always delivered on time, delivered good results, etc. So this is a time when you're overwhelmed. So you just can't take on that extra request. So it takes time to get to that place. Initially in your career, when you're building relationships, if you say no too often, you can come across as someone who does not want to work at all or does not want to put in that effort. But if you build that relationship and then you start being very transparent with them about, hey, today I'm doing this, uh, but I can't stretch for you beyond work hours every day because it affects my health. Or, hey, I have a dinner commitment today, which I made a month ago, and it's a Friday today, so I have to log out early. Things like that. And that comes after you build that credibility. So it takes time, and like I said, there are days when you will have to stretch where you feel like it's important for you to work a little extra, but you can compensate by saying no the next day because you have already slogged a lot more the previous day. So yeah, that's
Thank
how
you
I'm
so
trying
much.
to do.
That's something we should really learn and master as teenagers itself.
Yeah.
Ma'am, my last question is that there are many young girls out there, even as old as me, like in 10th grade or in 11th and 12th grade, who also wish to pursue STEM later in life. So, what would be your advice, or what exactly did you do when you were their age, when you knew that you were very adamant on following on upon STEM?
Got it. So I'll first tell you the things that I did and then things that I did not do, but I feel that can help you all because now that I've had experience and in hindsight, I know that these things could have probably helped me make better decisions at times, right? So in terms of skills, first is skills, right? You have to acquire certain skills. So hard skills are what you have to focus on. Technical skills, just pick any STEM area that you like, be it physics, be it mathematics, or be it engineering, or science. Any First do a thorough research on what are the different careers in each of those areas. Say I'm interested in tech, so I know these are like 10 different careers. Read through each of those careers and see what interests you the most, and don't pick one because that makes you rigid. Like have like a growth mindset and be flexible enough to try different things. So say I pick shortlist three different roles that I might be interested in future. That's my aspirational goal. Now, out of those three, I need to see what are the skill sets required. More often than not, there'll be always an overlap. Say in tech, you are focused on three jobs, there'll be a great overlap among all three of them. So just pick those skills and then go after certifications, go after like enroll yourself in different courses. And like now there's so much content online, so you can look at YouTube videos. There are newsletters by different influencers that are like really really insightful, so you can like enroll yourself and keep that is like P0, I would say, for you to try and succeed and land a role in your like domain of your choice. That's hard skills. Then comes soft skills, which I feel that maybe I could have uh, done a better job there, but I would say in hindsight these are different skills that are very important. One is adopting a growth mindset, like I said, um, because oftentimes we are so rigid that, hey, I want to get into, say, data science only. And then if you fail, you may feel like, oh, I'm a failure. I don't think I did a good job at it. Uh, but if you have a growth mindset, you will always see that, hey, this experience taught me something. Maybe I need to do XYZ more to land a data science job, or maybe I'm good at something else. Maybe there were 10 qualities in data science, I'm good at five of them. Those five I can leverage in another career. So something, I learned something from every failure. So I have to embrace it and have to have that growth mindset. uh, be patient and resilient, very, very important. And that has helped me over the last few years, right? So sometimes you are switching domains, so you have to start from scratch. And that's happened with me because I have switched domains multiple times. And at that time, you may feel, oh, am I behind people of my same age group or same profile? But no, I have tried different things. They may not have so much of diverse an experience. They may be growing in their career, in their growth path, but I have tried different things. So I have to be patient and resilient at, like, on the face of failure. So, and then the other soft skill, very important, curious. You always have to be curious about things you do. Okay, you may not be good at it, but nevertheless you have learned something. You may end up learning 10% of what you tried for, but still then you are a better person in terms of knowledge than you were when you started out. And lastly, in terms of soft skills, take calculated risks. Very important. Keep exploring, like I said, and don't restrict yourself to one domain early on when you are just starting out as a teenager, as someone who's just going to get into undergrad and so on. So that. And lastly, in terms of so these are things that you can do, everything in your control. Then there are things where you would need support from other people. That's where mentorship can come into play. Then there's internship that comes into play. Internship is a very good opportunity for you to try things. If you're able to, land an opportunity, you're able to get that opportunity to try new things. You learn a lot, and that way you're just spending limited amount of time, 2 months or 6 months or whatever. And if you don't like it, okay, you move on to the next thing. And then mentorship from people who are more senior to you. They may or may not be in the same field, but they have experience, so they can guide you. They are coming from like different backgrounds, and they have that wisdom with them, so you can lean on them to get some like good pointers wherever you feel stuck. Or someone who is in your career, in your same growth path, but is like 4 5 years ahead. So they can tell you, this worked out for me to progress in my career, and that can help you sort of try, um, take that path if it's for you, if you feel like it. So yeah.
So, ma'am, just a last question, which I have always wondered about. So, in the Indian system of education, if you see, is mostly all about, your grades and your marks. So, even after that, there are students after 10th who pursue, JEE because they want to get into IIT. So, IIT, or there are many other institutes as well. But mostly the problem is that there are very less seats, so it's very difficult to get placement. So for all those children who have pursued JEE and have got a very good rank but were unable to get a seat anywhere, if we think about them, then would you say that while they were preparing, it would have been better for them to have more options? Or do you say that no, if you want to do it, then you have to just, focus on it full on and only then will you crack JEE? What do you think is more important?
I would always say have a plan B. It's always important. But for someone who feels that, okay, IIT JEE is for me, I should try it, I have to do it, they can give that one go where they're just focused on that one goal. If they don't succeed, that's not the end of the world, trust me. But it always happens. I mean, now in hindsight, I can say it's not the end of the world. At that time, when you're giving those exams, you feel like, oh my God, this is so important. This is like life or death situation and so on. But it's not. So you can always then later on do a plan B. But wouldn't it be better if you parallelly devote some time and have a plan B option? That way you're saving on some time. But it's easier said than done. It's not easy to focus on 10 different exams while doing JEE as well. But if you choose wisely, if you're able to prepare so well for JEE, you may end up doing well in other exams as well. So don't just stick to the fact that I will only give JEE and not do other exams, but try and see if you have an option to give other exams as well, and always have a plan B.
Okay, ma'am. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed conducting this interview, and thank you for
I
attending.
enjoyed it too. Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course.
so
Thank
much,
you for
ma'am.
having me. I had a good time talking to you. Thanks, Tanisha.